LeBlanc and Lisa Kudrow were considered for the roles of Phil and Claire Dunphy in the Modern Family pilot episode, but ultimately turned them down. Mitchell and Cam's adoption of Lily in Vietnam depicted in the pilot episode was not legally possible at the time. Same-gender couples and single parents couldn't legally adopt in Vietnam. The leading actors of Modern Family made an agreement to submit themselves as supporting actors for awards consideration, highlighting the ensemble nature of the show. Watching the Dunphys, Pritchett Delgados, and Tucker-Pritchetts grow over years made for transformative television, but there is quite a bit fans might not know about the Modern Family pilot episode. Before Modern Family premiered, there wasn't any show like it. Watching three very different households grow and fight with each other on screen normalized many families at home. The award-winning series released its first episode in September with rave reviews and introduced the Dunphy, Delgado-Pritchett, and Tucker-Pritchetts. Fans learned that Jay Pritchett is the patriarch of the family and the father of Claire and Mitchell. The two then went on to have their own families, creating their own little modern family. The pilot does a quick introduction of each family's dynamic, introducing everyone to a new baby, growing teenagers, and a new marriage. But with it being over a decade since the first episode aired, there are several things that fans don't know about the Modern Family pilot. Personality types of Modern Family chakra that lot of actors are considered for a single role when it comes making television show. There were a lot of other potential actors with a proven track record in comedy who were considered for roles in the first episode of Modern Family. Two of those actors had a history together, Matt LeBlanc and Lisa Kudrow, who both appeared in the incredibly successful series Friends. LeBlanc was considered for the role of Phil Dunphy, while Kudrow was considered for the role of Claire Dunphy. LeBlanc was offered the role through his agent BT Think he was a right fit for Kudrow revealed she passed because, after reading the script, she didn't know how she would make the role her own, via Access Online ultimately. It worked out as the Dunphys have become Ty Burrell and Julie Bowen's best known. In the Modern Family pilot episode, one of the major storylines is that Mitchell and Cam are bringing their new baby home from adopting her in Vietnam. Big deal is made about the fact that Mitchell hasn't told the rest of his family that they are adopting yet. However, bigger deal should probably have been made about the adoption not being strictly legal at the time. And when the episode aired, not only was it illegal for same-gender couples to adopt children in Vietnam, but it was also illegal for single parents to adopt in Vietnam. Cam and Mitchell wouldn't have been able to go through legal channels to adopt Lily in the real world. From the very first episode, it's made clear that Modern Family is an ensemble show. It thrives by allowing all the extended family members to play a part in the storylines. Because it functions best as an ensemble, the original adult actors in Modern Family all made an agreement. None of them would submit themselves for award consideration lead, but as a supporting actor. The idea was that all the cast members were supporting one another in the large ensemble, allowing them to work on an even playing field, and allowing everyone to be seen valued member of the team. While it's unknown exactly when the group made the pact, it's clear that it was in effect from the very first season of the show. All the acting nominations that relied on submissions from the actors themselves, like the Primetime Emmys and the Golden Globes, placed all the adults in the series in supporting actor categories. Over the course of the show, Julie Bowen, Sophia Vergil, Ty Burrell, Eric Stonestreet, and Jesse Tyler Ferguson all received acting nominations from ceremonies like the Critics' Choice Awards, the Emmys, and the Golden Globes. Fans can't help but ask themselves one resounding question when rewatching the pilot. Was Julie Bowen Claire Dunphy pregnant in season? Claire wears more sweaters and shirts that don't suit her usual style in later seasons, and she hid her belly in most scenes. In the Modern Family pilot episode, Claire often has cereal boxes, pillows, laundry baskets, or even another person right in front. As it turns out, Cheat Sheet noted that Julie Bowen was pregnant with twins while filming the show's pilot. At 8.5 months pregnant, Bowen auditioned for the part of Claire multiple times and wanted it so bad that she cried. According to people, Bowen didn't think she'd get the part because of her belly, but eventually she did. With the families being aware that they are constantly filmed, fans were wondering if the reason for this documentary of their lives was going to be announced in that season, but it never happened. That's because the mockumentary style that began in the Modern Family pilot was holdover from the original series concept. According to NewJersey.com, the original purpose of the documentary was that a man named Geert Floorste lived with Jay as a teenage filmmaking exchange student and began filming everyone. Over time, Geert began having romantic feelings for the very likable Claire Dunphy, which is why he hung around for so long. He and Manny was supposed to develop a friendship, bonding over the documentary. But as longtime fans know, writers scrapped the Geert storyline. It's hard to imagine anyone replacing Ed O'Neill as Jay Pritchett. O'Neill plays Jay with such confidence and strength that he's a pillar on the show. However, Page 6 noted that it wasn't O'Neill who was originally offered the role, it was Craig T. Nelson. According to the source, Nelson was offered the role but asked for higher salary than producers were willing to give at the start of the series. Considering no one knew how well the show would do, they couldn't offer him the number he was looking for. Nelson left the show and O'Neill later joined. The next year, Nelson went on to play the patriarch of the Braverman family for Parenthood. The pilot of Modern Family was directed by Jason Weiner and written by Stephen Levitan and Christopher Lloyd. Viewers met all three families in a mockumentary style in separate stories before it was revealed that they were all ended family members, making it feel more realistic. The Modern Family pilot won 2 Primetime Emmys for Outstanding Writing for a Comedy Series and Outstanding Single-Camera Picture Editing in a Series. The actors that fans grew to love went on to sweep multiple awards shows afterward. Most cinema buffs know that filming with a baby can be incredibly hard. There are entertainment labor laws from the U.S. Department of Labor that limits the number of hours child can work in a day. It's become a fairly common practice in film and television to have twins or triplets play toddlers and infants. Since babies can be fussy, Modern Family hired twin babies Jaden and Ella Hiller for the role of Lily. But by the 3rd season, the twins' parents decided that if their children weren't enjoying their time on set, they shouldn't have to be there. They were replaced by the actress Aubrey Anderson Emmons. It was fun for fans to watch Lily transform over the years. Anderson Emmons continued playing Lily from season through the end. After winning 2 Primetime Emmys for the pilot, it's surprising to think there were networks that weren't interested in Modern Family. With the screenplay in hand, the creators of Modern Family pitched the sitcom too. According to IMDb, NBC passed because the network already had The Office and Parks and Recreation, 2 mockumentary-style shows. Fandom noted that CBS turned down the pilot because they reportedly weren't ready for the series. Was luckily for them, the sitcom was a winner. After the creators hired Sarah Hyland and Ty Burrell as Haley and Phil Dunphy, they did screen tests at Stephen Levitan's home. The studio had been worried about casting Burrell in an earlier project for Everton because he wasn't a big name. Had been a stage actor in New York and had come to Los Angeles for a project, but decided to stay for pilot season. By the time Levitan and Lloyd wrote the pilot for Modern Family, they had Burrell in mind for Phil, but weren't sure if the network would let them hire him. According to EW, the on-camera test that Levitan and Lloyd set up was like a low-budget filming of the pilot. The scenes that Burrell filmed allowed him to really play the character like he would in the sitcom instead of on stage in an audition room. The connection between Burrell and Hyland was strong, and their chemistry allowed network executives and producers to see why Burrell and Hyland were perfect for the roles. Burrell did such a good job of portraying Phil's funny philosophies on Modern Family that he became everyone's favorite dad. Jay and Gloria's age gap romance is often a source of laughs in Modern Family, but the canonical differences in their ages might be surprising. Modern Family's large ensemble cast may have provided a lot of classic sitcom adventures to viewers, but the dynamics between them didn't always add up. One of the most notable cases of this was Haley's changing personality, as Sarah Hyland's character could be surprisingly thoughtful and perspective at times, particularly during her relationship with Andy, but reverted to acting like a fun-loving party animal at others. However, while Haley's inconsistent Modern Family persona could get frustrating, it was far from the only unusual character dynamic within the Dunphy family. Jay and Gloria's relationship also raised more than its fair share of eyebrows throughout Modern Family's run, sometimes with good reason. Although this Modern Family couple really did love each other, it was understandable that the Dunphy children feared the worst when they first encountered Gloria shortly before Modern Family season. After all, the age gap between Gloria and Jay is undeniably striking, particularly when the rest of Modern Family's couples are pretty close in age. Jay was born in while Gloria was born in Dutch, Jay full quarter of century older than his wife in Modern Family. When they met, Gloria was around years old and Jay was around. Modern Family didn't append to Marvy rules. This was a notably larger age gap than most sitcom couples can boast. However, Modern Family did acknowledge the lengthy age gap, and there were a lot of plots that focused on how this impacted the couple's relationship. The year gap caused persistent problems, especially within the Dunphy family itself. And yet, despite this, Jay and Gloria's marriage remains one of the more consistently stable relationships in Modern Family despite this large age gap. As Haley's Modern Family pregnancy proved, a couple's corresponding ages are no guarantee of maturity or stability, and large age gap can be harmless, as Gloria and Jay's love story shows. Phil was born in making him years older than his mother-in-law Gloria. Jay's daughter Claire, meanwhile, was born in one making her mother-in-law 2 years younger than her. This leads to some struggles between the characters, as well as Phil's infamous attraction to his mother-in-law. That said, most of Gloria and Jay's struggles with their age gap throughout the seasons of Modern Family spring less from the age gap itself and more from misunderstandings around it. Like all of Modern Family's stories, Jay and Gloria's relationship is mostly hampered by miscommunication rather than any meaningful differences in their worldviews. Not unlike Phil and Claire and Cameron and Mitchell, Modern Family's Jay and Gloria prove that couples can come in all shapes and sizes. Of course, this didn't stop Modern Family from making their relationship frequently hilarious, but this had less to do with their age gap and more to do with their. When Modern Family first aired back in, nobody knew it was about to change the face of television comedy forever. The show came in quietly, but within the very first episode, it proved that something special was happening, something that was both hilarious and deeply human, something that would connect millions of people across generations, because it wasn't just a sitcom, it was a mirror to modern life, and the best joke of the entire series, believe it or not, happened right there, in the opening pilot. The first episode introduced us to the three families, Phil and Claire Dunphy with their 3 kids, Jay Pritchett with his much younger wife Gloria and her son Manny, and Mitchell with his partner Cameron, who had just adopted a baby girl, Lily, from Vietnam. It was an emotional, chaotic, perfectly written start. But hidden in that chaos was a single joke that captured everything Modern Family would become. The scene starts simple. Phil Dunphy is being interviewed documentary style. He says he's the cool dad, not regular dad, but a cool dad. And you can already feel that classic sitcom energy. But then he explains that he tries to stay up to date with his kids. He knows all their slang. And he says hip, know what the kids say, text laugh out loud. OMG. Oh my God, why the face? That single line, that single joke, right there in the pilot, was pure genius. It was funny on so many levels. Phil was trying to be relatable but completely missed the meaning of the show. Never had to top that moment because it perfectly summed up his entire character in one line. A dad who loved his kids but lived in a slightly different world, always one step behind, yet always trying his best. And that's why fans still talk about it years later. But the brilliance of that joke wasn't just in the punchline. It was how it revealed the soul of Modern Family. The humor came from truth, not exaggeration, not slapstick, but the awkward little gaps between generations, between parents and kids, between what people mean and what they say. Phil's Why the Face wasn't just misunderstanding. It was a whole philosophy of love through confusion. The show used that same style throughout its run, but nothing quite hit the same note as that first moment. Because by episode 1, the writers had already captured the full picture. The modern dad who means well but can't quite keep up. The teenager rolling their eyes. The wife trying to hold everything together. And the quiet understanding that despite all of it, this was family, messy but real. If you watch that scene closely, you'll see the magic of timing. Ty Burrell's delivery is natural, not forced. His tone shifts just enough to make you believe that Phil genuinely thinks WTF stands for Why the Face, and the fake documentary camera zooms in at just the right second. It feels real, like you're watching a moment that could happen in any home. Critics have often said that Modern Family's genius was in how it mixed humor with heart, and this scene was the foundation, hing deeper. Because behind the joke there was love. Phil didn't want to embarrass his kids, he wanted to connect. And that was something every parent in the audience understood.